Boom! We're cracking this motherfucker open, breaking Hour of Devastation draft, teaching you how to win at it, principles, how to win at draft in general, walking you through. Welcome in, much love, Trav here. Very interesting draft I just did, preparing for GP and Pro Tour Kyoto, trying to be draft master, world champion, etc., etc. Gonna be a lot of fun out there, preparing for this with our Team Lingering Souls, and doing a lot of draft prep with the mastermind. What up? So I'm going to talk you through it, and going into the draft, I'm going to explain a couple principles about drafting this set. First one is, you got to follow the 2-drops. The way Magic is now, the aggressive 2s are really fucking fast, and if you don't start playing till turn 3, turn 4, you quickly fall behind. You're even one piece behind on the board, you got to be scared, so you can't miss your 2s. You can't start ramping on turn 3 and expect to just stabilize with one creature when people can unsummon or kill your creature and just curve out and you're way fucking dead, die with a pile of cards in your hand. And in this format, the best 2s are in Bant colors. You have Spellweaver Eternal, you have Oketra's Avenger, you have the Mummy Paramount, you have Frilled Sandwall, you have Rona's Stalwart. They're the best 2s because you can attack, the opponent can't trade, so you can press an advantage and overwhelm them on board and kill them. And that's what I want to do. I want to win late games, but you don't want to give people late games if you don't have to. Winning the late game is the last resort. You want to curve out, kill people fast. Don't make it your plan to fight through every bomb, okay? So you have to prioritize those, and also want to stay in Bant colors if possible, if open for that reason. Another key here that supports that is that the cycling lands help aggro decks. Control and ramp and mid-range decks need to play their lands. But aggro decks, you can play 16 lands with 4 cycle lands or 5 cycle lands and never go beyond 5 lands. That's a good way to win as an aggro deck because flooding is your enemy. So there's another point for aggro. I have another key here, and that you can switch colors late because everything is playable. Okay, so you can. I've been switching late pack 2 a whole bunch, and surprisingly it's been working out great. And it's not so surprising when you realize you have so many playable picks. Okay, so pack 1, pick 1. What would you pick here? I know a lot of people would say Bantu's Last Reckoning. I tried it out. I don't like it because it's so negative tempo. You sweep, they embalm their internalized thing, you skip your land drop, suddenly they're 2 pieces ahead on board. I don't want that to be my plan. So I picked Spellweaver Eternal. I like it more than Unquenchable Thirst to start the draft because you can't get ahead from the start with Unquenchable Thirst. You can with Spellweaver Eternal. So to start the draft, I want my 2s, just so I don't have to worry about that later. The second pack has another pretty solid blue card, so I'm going to take the Sinuous Striker out of this pack. There's Open Fire, but you want to stick with the color you're in. If possible, pick something that is close to the best card. I also really like this. Internalize is a nice option to have. The third pick, another Spellweaver Eternal. And if it's pick 1, pack 1, I'll take the Rona Stalwart. Probably, I haven't decided on that yet. But stick to blue, take the Spellweaver. The next pick, for this pack, I would pick another 2-drop if there was one. But there isn't, so I take Supreme Will, which is fine. I figured I'd have way more chances at a Desert later. Although I don't really love Supreme Will. It's a nice flexible card, but maybe the Desert would have been better here. Here, I picked the Desert. I would have picked a good 2, a Stalwart, maybe a Frilled Sandwall, etc. But also, here's an opportunity to cut blue, which we're going to be rewarded for later. So one thing that you want to be doing in your draft is thinking about what the person next to you and the next half of the table is. Everyone else is going to notice, wow, there's no blue in this pack. Even if there's a lot of blue otherwise, this is going to have a strong psychological effect, which we're going to reward later. So pack 1, if possible, 1 color is open, stay in that color, because you might abandon your second color anyways. Here we have Aerial Guide. I'm going to stick on the color. This is even close to pick the Mummy Paramount here. I don't like Proven Combatant nearly as much as Aerial Guide. It's great. So I picked the Aerial Guide. Next pack, we've got another blue cycle land, and I want to have 3 or 4 of these just to have cycle lands, and also deserts. It makes Unquenchable Thirst way better. Get an 8th pick unsummon, cut that, move in. Card's really good. Get another desert. We see Wretched Camel Table, so I figure I'll move in and take the best 2 here. Kenra Eternal Tables, now we've got 2 black 2s. I take Desert of the Mindful, and then after pack 1, Heavy Blue, and note that black seems to be tabling, so consider that. Pack 2 here is a really interesting one. I opened the black rare, 3 mana 1/2 Menace, and I decided to take it. It's really eternalizing for a 4/4 Menace that with this effect is pretty crazy. And it's a pretty decent 3 that forces them to leave back multiple blockers, or you can take out their 1 blocker and start going to town. In retrospect, I think it would have been fine to pick up a second aerial guide here, just because I know that I'm going to stay in blue. I think the Starcatcher's Avenger is also reasonable, just because it's so good, but I didn't really see signs that white was particularly open. There were a couple white cards that came around late, but none of the premium ones. Second pack, I decided to pick the Ifnir Deadlands here. This card has really impressed me, and we already have 3 blue cycle lands. Great removal, and we're starting to pick up a lot of black. Although, it's possible that Cunning Survivor or the Catcher's Avenger, I don't really like moving in white now, but Cunning Survivor would be a reasonable pickup just to have another 2. Here, there isn't a great blue card. There isn't really a 2-drop anywhere. The best card in the pack is Fervent Paincaster, but I'm going to take the Torment of Venom. I'm not picking a 3/1 in a different color now. So we picked 3 solid black cards looking to be in blue-black. Here we're rewarded by cutting blue with Hour of Eternity. This wouldn't happen if we hadn't picked so much blue. So you can influence the table later on, pack 1. That's not lucky that, it's triple blue card, it's hard to play with. Really crazy though when you have it. Play it for 5 or 7 and make multiple guys. Really was performed amazingly in this draft. Here there's a second aerial guide. Finally we picked. We've seen a lot. We have 2. Unquenchable Thirst is great. I picked Dispelweaver Eternal earlier, but have basically no removal or tricks at this point, just creatures. So I took the Unquenchable Thirst. Here, maybe this one is wrong as well. I took the Sidewinder. I thought it would be nice to have 1 Striped Riverwinder and cycle to have a hexproof with my Hour of Eternity, but it's possible I should have just cut the Mummy Paramount. Also, this goes back to the key principle I forgot. You can fuck up your table by picking all the 2s and curve out on people, and they can't curve out on you because you have them all in your deck. So you can really hate draft 2s from the table. Maybe I should have picked that one. Pack 2, pick 8, Catcher's Avenger Tables. That's fucking weird. Well, there's no blue or black, so I'm going to hate this one. And then, wow, a second Catcher's Avenger tabled. That's weird. Well, that's only my second white card, but, so I'm going to take a black the next pick, and a black the next pick, and a blue Solitary Camel Wheel. That's weird. So I'm going into pack 3 thinking, I'm blue, and I've got like 6 black cards, but my 2-3 white cards are better, actually. So it's going to be close, and I may move into white if the opportunity presents itself. So here, Vizier and Takrop Elite. I actually think Takrop Elite is the better card if we're going to be in blue-white, but it's so hard to pass on Vizier, and I want the door to be open for blue-black right now. And no, we're going to play blue. So the next pick, alright, there's nothing in black. There's Cartouche and Compulsory Rest. Cartouche is not nearly as good as Compulsory Rest here. Cartouche is a great card, but Compulsory Rest is amazing 2 mana. Get out my way. You can use it on turn 2, you can use it on turn 6. So I decided, you know what, I'm moving into white. Let's see what happens. So I take it. Next pack, there's a white Cartouche, and white Cartouche goes great on the Spellweaver Eternals we picked up, and Catcher's Avenger, so I'm going to grab that. And Secret of Insight would be nice. This pack, really nothing great. I like Open into Wonder as a way to finish. It's pretty good with the Spellweaver Eternals. Hit you with them with Prowess, and then you can trade them off later and drain. Pack 3, pick 8. There's a Winds of Rebuke. We can use another bounce spell, so I grabbed that. Well, pack 6 is a late Takrop Elite. This card is so good. There's some good blue cards, but picking the Tack Crop Elite. Sacred Cat, I like my ones. This card has even gone up for me because you see so few ones now, because the new set doesn't have many good ones. And then Unwavering Initiate 8th, which is Hot Sauce. Rewarded for switching into white and pick the Naga Oracle. And the cancel Seeker of Insight, second Naga Oracle, and Gale Strike to round out the deck. So if I can look back to any like mistakes in this draft, usually I'm going to have a couple mispicks per draft. And I think those mispicks were... it's possible I should have taken the 5-mana 3/3 Angel here. I don't think so, though. This Dream Stealer should have been a Drake, a 3-mana 2/2. This If Near Deadlands should have been a Cunning Survivor. Although, if I pick those cards, the white cards might not table because the blue drafter picks O'Catcher's Avenger instead. So it doesn't mean the draft would have gone better, but I think I probably shouldn't have been picking the black cards here. But you can see I went for the 2s, and I'll show you the deck here. Boom. Okay. This is posted in the Mastermind. If you randomly add me a friend, I probably won't add it because I get so many of those. But if you sign up for the Mastermind, whatever, this isn't really to promote that, but that's where this is. It is and it isn't. I want to help you, give you some free bonus stuff. So, blue-white. And the deck's pretty fucking sick. Unsummoned Sacred Cat Cartouche, 2 O'Catcher's Avengers, 2 Spellweaver's Eternals, a Winds, an Unquenchable Thirst, a Seeker of Insight, a Compulsory Rest. So capable of very aggressive starts, lots of ways to affect the board for 1 and 2 mana, clear creatures out the way. Seeker of Insight for Flood. We've got some pretty nice flying stuff going on 3. And some solid 3s. Pretty decent 4s. And good finish of Hour of Eternity, Open into Wonder. And I ended up going 2-1 with this deck. Can never really hope for more than that. Although, 2-1, 66%. I felt this deck was very close to a 3-0. If I top decked an island on the last turn of one of the matches, then I won. Also, if I had probably mulliganed one of those hands, I would have won. But the point is, hey, here's a great deck that I'm not going to walk you through all the gameplay, but you can imagine I'm just curving out and trying to bounce their stuff and kill them before they can finish. And we've got a pretty good chance of winning the late game with our top end. Like I said, you want to be able to win the early game and the late game. You don't have to choose one or the other. Decks like this do that well. So I won some late games with these X spells. And yeah, follow the 2s and abandoned my color go very fucking late, and it worked out well. So I learned a lot from this draft and wanted to share it. I hope you benefit and your draft levels up. You want to get more in depth and you want to share your drafts and get some feedback, then it's the aforementioned Mastermind program. There's a link to that below. Y'all can check it out. And I hope you find that useful. Everybody else, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And I'll do more of these. Pretty easy and simple to shoot. So much love. Appreciate you. And see you in the comments.